Okay, I'm here with Miss Irma. She's with Guaranteed Rate. She's been in the mortgage industry for 20 years, and she's a loan originator. And we're hanging out at the open house, and we decided we're going to talk a little bit about mortgages. And you were going to tell me about first-time home buyers, Irma?
Yes, the question is, do you know who is a first-time home buyer, Rick?
So it makes me think that it's somebody buying a home for the first time, but I'm sure it's a little more complicated than that.
Yes, it is. So a first-time home buyer for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac it has a wider definition of what is a first-time home buyer. So basically, it is a person that hasn't owned a property in the last 3 years. And also, not to complicate things, but if a person or a couple are getting a divorce and one of them is keeping the house and the other one is leaving, the one that's leaving is also considered to be a first-time home buyer.
So if you haven't bought a house in 3 years, you could be considered a first-time home buyer?
Yes.
And if basically they're considering this two different entities in relationship to a marriage, like, so the marriage is dissolving, that was one entity, and then one of the people moves off to get a mortgage after a divorce, for instance, that would be considered a first-time home buyer again?
Again, correct.
Okay, well that's...
And why do you want to know if a person is a first-time home buyer? You as an agent?
It's cheaper for the buyer, right?
Well, first-time
less
home buyers.
expensive, less deposits, less
yes.
down payment smaller?
All that.
Okay.
Yes, you can do a combination of different programs or a combination of things, but first-time home buyers have a lot of benefits. And there are a lot of grants for first-time home buyers, down payment assistance programs as well. So it is important to know if your clients are first-time home buyers, because they can take advantage of all these programs.
So essentially, somebody who maybe thinks they're priced out of the market or doesn't have enough cash on hand or down payment to get into a home might be able to apply for a first-time home buyer loan. Yes. And receive a home at a lower cost, be able to get into a home that they thought they couldn't, essentially.
Yes, because now instead of, they were thinking that they need all this amount of money to buy a house, now we can help them with some grants. And so that's why it is important to know this.
So essentially I could have somebody call you, or they could call me and I could call you.
Yes.
And we could figure out if maybe they could apply for this and be applicable to get this grant. Okay,
Perfect.
cool. Yeah. That's definitely something we need to look into. So,
good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And until the next time.
Good.